Hey everyone, this is Greg from Geek, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of my Custom Hunter Marsh Queen Quest deck. So, the Marsh Queen Quest, as you can see here, is play 7 1-cost minions and you receive the reward, which is Queen Carnassa. So Queen Carnassa is an 5-cost 8/8 minion beast dinosaur T-Rex looking thing. What's great about once you play Queen Carnassa, so you play this, you get Queen Carnassa in your hand. Once you play Queen Carnassa on the board, um, it automatically throws a ton of raptors into your deck. And those raptors are low cost minions. I think they're 1 mana crystal cost minions, and I think they're 3/2 in terms of power and toughness. But but the great thing about those raptors is that every single raptor that you play, you get to draw a card. So you can just literally just keep drawing raptors and keep drawing, smaller mana cost minions, and it's awesome. So you can really do a lot of damage pretty quick with this, if all things work in your favor. So let me just quick go through some of the cards that I have. So again, the idea is to play as many 1-cost minions as possible. So as you can see here, I have a ton of 1-cost minions. Now, I did throw in a couple of spells, things like Arcane Shot and Hunter's Mark, and also Track. No, I'm sorry, I didn't throw in Tracking. I have Abusive Sergeant. This is not. Sorry, those are my Hunter cards. So I have Abusive Sergeant. I didn't throw as many spells in there as I thought, I guess. So I have Abusive Sergeant, Elven Archer, Emerald Reaver, Firefly, Jeweled Macaw, Raptor Hatchling, Stone Tusk Boar, and Timberwolf. So those are all the minions that I threw out there. And now, one thing I wanted to do with this deck is not just make it just a bunch of one mana cost like low minions that they just do like 1 damage or something like that, and they're not really powerful and they're kind of one-offs. So what I did was with Abusive Sergeant, Battle Cry, give a minion +2 attack this turn. So that way you can throw out a low-cost minion and also add the Battle Cry and do some damage. Elven Archer is a great card to play out. Deals 1 damage right off the bat. Same thing with Emerald Reaver. I mean, you take 1 damage, but it's not bad. Firefly is a good card that I added because it adds a 1/2 elemental to your hand right as a battle cry, and so it's great because that's another 1 mana cost minion. So if you draw a Firefly and you know, your like you have 6 minions on the board, you draw your Firefly as your 6th minion, and you have a spare mana crystal hanging out there. You can play that elemental from your hand, and then you complete the quest. Raptor Hatchling, I only have 1 of these in the deck just because the death rattle from this is the 4/3 Raptor that you shuffle into your deck. I honestly don't know if I've ever saw that Raptor really in much gameplay. For whatever reason, I don't know why. So I don't know. That's why I just don't really have it in the deck. Stone Tusk Boar is a great one with Charge. That's a good one if you play Stone Tusk Boar and Abusive Sergeant. Whoa now. I keep doing that. An Abusive Sergeant, because then you can add +2 attack to it and do 3 attack right off the bat with Charge. And Timberwolf is great too because all of your beasts get +1 attack, and pretty much for the most part, my whole deck, with the exception of a few things like Elemental and Elven Archer and a couple others, for the most part, I have a ton of beasts in this deck. Obviously, it is a Hunter deck after all, so Hunter is pretty beast heavy. So those are the main 1 mana cost minions that I threw in there. In addition to that, I have some higher mana cost minions, Bloodfin Raptor. There's a couple. Here's those couple of spells and things that I threw in. Explosive Trap. When your heroes attack, deal damage to 2 damage to all enemies, and Snipe as well. So those are pretty good cards. Again, I I threw them in there just as something else to do, because I figure if your goal is to play small minions right off the bat, you know, trying to think the long-term gameplay. You're playing a lot of small minions, they're probably going to get taken out right off the bat. So if you play a couple small spells that can do some damage too, especially to your opponent's minions, and get them off the board too, and that way you can do things like build up your boar with charge and +2 from abusive sergeant. So I'm just trying to be really strategic with it and how I built that. So going down the rest of the card list, stubborn gastropod, and actually I'll just review this real quick. I only have 3, well, not necessarily 3, I guess more than 3, but only 3 cards with taunt in the deck, really. Stubborn gastropod, we also have Ironfur Grizzly, there's 2 of those, and Stegodon, and there's only 1 of those. So not a lot of, actually, yeah, that's it. Not a lot of taunts, and I think that is the one main issue I find with this deck, is that once I have played these and I've completed the Marsh Queen quest, it's really tough to not have Queen Carnassa get killed, and that's the one thing that's really come up in my gameplay with this, especially in. I do really well with this deck in casual play. Obviously, I think it's a pretty powerful deck, but in ranked play, it's it's really like 50-50, to be honest with you. And I think it's because I don't have enough taunts in this deck. A couple more taunts to protect Queen Carnassa would really go a long way, and because that's 8 damage right off the bat with when you play that card. So I have a couple other things out here. Giant Wasp, Stealth. The thing that I like about Giant Wasp and also Stubborn Gastropod is that they're poisonous. So I almost play Giant Wasp in replacement of a taunt, or in replacement of a spell, I guess, too, because I can take Giant Wasp and attack if my opponent has a large minion out there. I can take that and attack it, and it just dies because of poisonous, because of that effect. So I like that. I like that effect and that mechanic of that card. Houndmaster. This is the other thing I did to kind of even out the lack of taunts in my deck. So I added Houndmaster and the battle cries to give a beast, friendly beast, +2/+2 and taunt. So to be honest with you, I really don't know how many times I've played this and how often this really comes up. It really is kind of a crapshoot with this one. So it's a good card. I just haven't had many opportunities to really focus in on it. Now, I think my intent with adding this is that I can add, or I can have, once I really discover what the Queen Carnassa was and the effect of that card, I was thinking, wow, well, if I add this to the deck, I can play Houndmaster, add 2/2 and taunt to Queen Carnassa. That makes that card a 10/10, and that's a lot for a taunt. And then just start playing those raptors and just start doing damage. But that never really panned out. So I might change that down the road. Just want to play with this deck a little bit more. I maybe have 25 to 30 games under my belt with this, and it's been pretty good so far. And that's between ranked and casual play. So I just want to keep going with it and see what else I can get. And the other reason I actually added Houndmaster is that I just wanted another higher cost, higher damage minion in the deck. And a 4/3, I'll take it. So the last one is this Warden, and this is another one I added just in case I wasn't the deck wasn't performing well and I wasn't drawing a lot of those 1 mana cost minions. so the battle cries draw 2 1-cost minions from your deck. So I added that just in case. And Animal Companion is another one that I added after I started playing it a little bit. And I added 2 of these to the deck because you summon a random Beast Companion, and that's great because I have a couple of things in the deck that I covered already that, you can add 1 attack to your beast, or you can add give a beast, +2 and taunt. And some of the beasts that you get, the beast companions, are pretty good stuff. So in a nutshell, it's been a pretty successful deck again for me. In casual play, in ranked play, it's been about 50-50, but yeah, I like it. I like playing it. The gameplay with this deck, I would say, is a little more is more aggressive, more fast paced, just because you're putting so many cards out right off the bat, and you're doing a lot of damage up front. And even if your opponent's killing off your 1-cost minions, you don't care because you're working toward that quest. So I don't know, it's been pretty good. So let me know what you guys think, and I should probably rename this something other than Custom Hunter. Probably Marsh Queen at some point. I'll get to that. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's any ways, if you think I can improve this deck. Like I said, if there's any better taunt cards out there you think would help me, or if there's other low cost beasts that would help too, then I can add to it. So let me know what you think. Feel free to write it in the comments below. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Geek Cheese and come back for more. Thanks so much for watching.